Now he has a very interesting strategy, which I should just spend a few minutes on. As you know, these are old accusations against him, what they accuse him of. Not real, they're not written. So he says, I will pretend to read a pretended affidavit of the charges. So he's there pretending to read a pretended affidavit. Therefore, he's translating the false accusers who have been accusing of these things and making believe they are a set of charges. And therefore, he dismisses each one of the charges, taking them sequentially. Now, when the real charges come, he turns around and he says, by the way, I'm going to take these charges and treat them as if they were another set of accusers. Well, I would like to spend a few minutes showing you he's guilty, and then I would like to deal with the central problem, and that's the spiritual dimension that runs through the entire work that has grand significance to us all. Right. The charges first. You read the charges backwards. You read the charges backwards and you can see what they are. First, if Socrates believes in other new spiritual things instead of the gods the state believes in, and if he teaches those things to others, then he corrupts the young. That makes him a criminal. Therefore, there's just one serious charge here. And the charge is, does Socrates believe in other new spiritual things instead? If he does, clearly if they are new, and if the state doesn't believe in them, the charges are true. If in any way he teaches these things or influences others to believe in them, then we can say he corrupts the young. If it's against the state rules to introduce a new spiritual thing instead of belief in the gods the state believes in, if that's the stated law, then he's guilty of breaking that stated law. It's not a question of whether he's just in doing that or not. The question is whether or not he's guilty of the law as stated. Therefore, let's do it again. If we can find that he does believe in other new spiritual things, and these things are not those things that the state believes in, and if he then persuades or in any way influences the young to go along with those beliefs, then he can be charged with corrupting the young, and that makes him a criminal. And if at the bottom of these great charges there's the penalty of death, then we have the whole story of the trial.
That's like a forerunner of the heresy trials.
That's right. That's right. So, would you agree all we need to do is prove that he believes in new spiritual things instead? We can put aside all the other secondary issues and deal with that most directly. Now the question is, while he is doing this, while Socrates is doing this, what he also offers is the fact that he doesn't believe in the gods the state believes in. Well, look, while he is defending this view, which is not a defense, he's stating the facts, while he's defending his own view, he's going to show you, number one, all right, that he tries to disprove the oracle of Apollo, the Delphic oracle. He tries to disprove the oracle sacred to Apollo. Not prove it, disprove it. And that was one of his great drives. Well, wait a minute. So therefore, while he is going around doing what he's doing, he's then challenging the very oracle. He's going around to disprove it. We need a statement that shows that. We also need another statement to show that he does believe in spiritual things, and they have to be new things, and they have to be instead of the gods the state believes in. Third, we also want a simple statement from Socrates that he recognizes he does believe in God, but not in the way any of his accusers do. And therefore it would be in a way of understanding the God in a totally different way, and that's exactly what the state is saying. All right, so what do we need? We have to show that he's going around disproving the oracle sacred to Apollo. He's introducing a new spiritual thing, and he recognizes he believes in God in a way in which none of his accusers do. Let me write that a little better. Now, I'll submit a couple of more things. You will agree that the most important thing to keep in mind when the jury goes into their deliberations is what is said in the last 30 seconds. That's that's going to be fresh on their mind, and that's what they're going to walk away with. This is what he tells them, the closing statement before the vote. That's very clear in his mind. He's going to then talk about why he needs to challenge the oracle, because he says there's one thing that people accuse me of, and that is wisdom. And he says, that's true, I have a certain kind of wisdom. That's right, I have a certain kind of wisdom, and that's what I pursue. Philosophy is a love of wisdom. It's important for us to know what he means by wisdom. So then, our task is simple. All I have to do is read you a couple of quotes here. I have 8 quotes I'm interested in here, 2 in here. We should be able to pull it all together. And that's where we're going. My trusted old book. I brought another one that I had to recover, but I just freshly explored this. Therefore, let me first take up the first point. Socrates is going to be talking about where he got this reputation for wisdom. And he says it was because a friend of mine, Shaphiron, everyone knows Shaphiron, he was a talker. Wisdom. I'll tell you the whole truth. The sword of wisdom has gotten me this name, gentlemen, and nothing else. Wisdom! Exclamation point. What wisdom? Perhaps the only wisdom that man can have. For the fact is, I really am wise in this wisdom. But it may be that those I just spoke of are wise in a wisdom greater than man's. Or I can't think of how to describe it, for I don't understand it myself. Whoever says so lies. Then he tells the audience, hey, calm down, calm down, calm down. It upsets them all. He said, what I'm going to tell you is not my word, but I'll refer to a speaker of sufficient authority. I will call the God in Delphi as my witness of my wisdom. I will call the God in Delphi. Here's a very clear case. All he has to say is, I believe in the God of Delphi. That will show, therefore, he at least is holding to the notion that he believes in the God the states believe in, and we won't have any trouble. Socrates can announce that he's innocent. By the way, if, however, he challenges the gods at Delphi and tries to disprove them, you and I will come to a different conclusion. So this is what he says. I suppose you know Shaphiron. He's been my friend since I was young, and a friend of your people's party. And he was banished with you lately, and with you restored. And you know, doubtless, what sort of man he was, how impetuous in all he tried to do. Well, once he went to Delphi and dared to ask this question of the oracle. Don't make an uproar, gentlemen, at what I say. For he asked if anyone was wiser than I was. The priestess answered then that no one was wiser. Hey, his brother is here. He'll bear witness to this, as Shaphiron is dead. But let me tell you why I say this.